What's going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys are having a good Christmas Eve. Depending on how much engagement we get tonight, we'll keep this going. If not, we'll go ahead and let it go. But tonight, I wanted to talk about the harsh realities of the West and our culture and how it's been completely infiltrated. Uh, Women completely run the society now. The only thing we don't have is a female president. And we would have a female president and Hillary Clinton if we had a true democracy, but we don't. The Electoral College got Trump elected the first time. Excuse me. But every TV show, every political TV show, all these different movies that are putting women in very important leadership roles, they're already priming you guys for there to be a big female president, which is the only thing we need. I mean, it was just the only thing left for the matriarchy to be fully intact. But this is just how bad our society has truly gotten. Excuse me. And men have and this has been happening for years. This is way before the young men of today. This has been happening for almost 50 years. Yeah, Merry Christmas, what's going on? Zambrano, what's going on? Cadence from the Vault, what's going on? Ari Beck Lovely said, you like Trump? He's all right. He's decent, I guess. Mike David, what's going on, man? What up? You live. Merry Christmas. What's going on, man? Merry Christmas to my man, Mike David, OG in the building. But yeah, we just talking about how women truly run the society. I'm gonna break this down very I'm gonna break this down and simplify it to where you see this at every level. And it's quite crazy because we'll get to that in just a second. We're gonna let some more people get in here. I'm gonna talk with the chat. You guys let me know what you guys think. He said sipping on a little something with the family. Hey, yeah, I agree for now. Trump is decent, truly. Society isn't the same as it used to be in my perspective of everything. And no, it's not. I mean, it's a damn shame. I mean, Trump is the best that we can do, and he's still a pretty bad option. While can't fix delusion, yeah, you can't fix delusional. I mean, to be truly honest, Beck Lovely, I'm not Republican or Democrat, and this is not what the whole point of the stream is. Politics will flow into this, but I'm over both of them. They both lying. They both don't give a damn. The debt keeps going up no matter who's in office. The jobs keep going up and down no matter who's in office. So these titles aren't going to save you guys. These parties aren't going to save you. They don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? There's people on the left and the right that make millions of dollars. And they're politicians. Politicians only make, maybe, at most, maybe $250,000 a year. Yeah, no, I got you. Cadence Beck had asked the question earlier. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with him going away with Venezuela, but I mean, I guess if we need to get the oil to beat Russia and China, I guess. I mean, I thought we said drill, baby, drill. I thought we got plenty of oil here. Anyways. No, you're good. He said sipping on a little something. My man Mike David getting a little frisky with the fam. He sipping on that eggnog. Homie, I don't know what it is. Like eggnog is just, I don't know what is eggnog. This is crazy. Like eggnog, that's like something I wouldn't brought up on drinking or nothing like that. Like eggnog. Yeah, guys, we're gonna do a stream first thing in the morning too. So you guys be on the lookout for that as well. So Yeah, we gotta talk about Christmas. We got a lot of good lives coming up, guys. I've been cooking up and thinking, freaking. I would have went live yesterday, but my freaking I worked a 13-hour day, bro. It wasn't no way in hell. I would have been going to sleep on the live. Y'all been watching me going to sleep. So we live in a matriarchy, and it's really devastating because one of the recent examples of this is Charlie Kirk's wife. And this is crazy work. I didn't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. Did the guy need to be deleted? No, he didn't. But people that deleted him probably are the. We ain't gonna get into all that. But the recent example of matriarchy is apparently, his wife Erica Kirk has taken over Turning Point USA, and recently she had Nicki Minaj on there, and Charlie Kirk clearly said that she isn't a good role model. So Erica Kirk is disobeying her deceased husband's wishes. You guys can't make this up. He said, I'm actually drinking Crown. I really don't like eggnog. I don't even know. Yeah, is that eggnog like supposed to be some kind of alcoholic Christmas alcoholic beverage? I don't know. These different holiday at this point in society, bro. I question everything. I'm like, what's the point of all this shit? It's paganistic, and we're gonna get too far into that. Shout out to my man Cadence. You know what, Cadence? I'm feeling generous today. You're making a lot of sense, talking in good grammar in the chat. We're gonna make you a moderator. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. But yeah, guys, I thought that was crazy. I'm like, bro, I don't really care for Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, but I don't really care about what he was doing. But I was like, damn, his wife really just neglected his whole wishes. Like that clip ain't widestream. That's crazy work, homie. That's why, guys, when you in a matriarchy, they don't respect your opinion. Yeah, Caden said, yeah, Erica Kirk is supposedly trying to just get near into the White House and stir things around. JD Vance is from sources I don't know a lot, but I won't stir anything up. I mean, homie, I'm gonna be real with you. You guys heard this here, and I hate to say this shit. We was on Patreon. I really go in on this shit, but don't be shocked if JD Vance's wife just disappears all of a sudden. And then there's a good story and narrative around, well, JD Vance, his wife passed away. Erica Kirk, her husband passed away. They're both mourning and it makes perfect sense for them to get together. Anyways, y'all gonna get me blocked off of YouTube. This shit I'm saying make too much sense and it's too real. Right? If I was jumping around doing the Dougie, it'd be 1,000 people in here. Anyways, let's go into all the different ways of how we can prove that we live in a matriarchy. You said it makes so much sense. It really does, bro. She gonna disappear, homie. And really, JD Vance is really the only credible Republican really to win. He actually is very intelligent. He's actually more intelligent than Trump. People don't realize that. But anyways, we're talking about these women, not politics. One of the few ways that you know that you're living in a matriarchy is they have the government, the power of the government. What do you mean, Miles, the power of the government? Well, don't they have child support, divorce court, domestic violence, they call the police, verbal violence, they call the police. All of these things are governmental institutions to invoke violence upon you when you disobey them. So whenever you disobey a woman, she calls them folks, the government, to steal resources, to make them her resources, to check you. And these people show up willingly and they believe her. Some of these DV cases, you automatically get arrested just from the accusation. These are very, very archaic laws. And to be truly honest, guys, if we're being honest, dealing with women today in the West is very dangerous. Now, the problem with this is you have a drive as a male to procreate and have intercourse, and you see an attractive woman, you want to be with her. Now, granted, we're not incels over here. You're going to talk to women, you're going to sleep with women, you're going to marry women, you're going to have kids with women. In wedlock, out of wedlock, the shit happens, man. I mean, this is the West. There's no perfect traditional way of doing this shit no more. Right? The shit's not coming back. So you just need to be aware of this shit, though. You need to be aware that the government is on her side. Family court is on her side. And you're going to lose public opinion. That's what's going to happen. And that's evidence that you are living in a matriarchy. Nobody wants to listen to your side of the story. They only want to listen to her side of the story. She can cry and all of this stuff and boo-hoo, play the victim, and be fully wrong. The evidence don't point to her being right. And you'll still lose out on money, opportunities, your job, passport, who knows? Because she's stick the government and the government's backing her. Yeah, I see where you're going with the J.D. Vance's wife thing. Yeah, bro, it's diabolical. And like, guys, don't think that these government people aren't ruthless and will do anything to get in power. So these people are the most psychotic people on the planet. They just sit up there and they just know how to hide it in a velvet glove. And so the women, they have the government. And a lot of them are in government. The only thing they don't have in government is the president. They have Supreme Court, senators, governors. They have these stuff spread around the country. The only position they don't obtain is the president. But every time you watch a political show, what is it priming you to accept? A female president. Matriarchy. So they raise your children. It's funny now, granted, women complain about, well, these men aren't ish and these men are weak and all this stuff, but it's like, you raised them. You the one that divorced and got the majority custody of the kid. You had the kid out of wedlock when he told you not to have a kid, and you raised him on your own, and he left because he didn't want to have a kid, and he told you didn't want to have a kid, but you disobeyed him. So you raised the kid and complain about the same men that you've been raising for the past 30 to 40 years. You're strong and independent. You don't need no man. But you're raising the people, the children that are criminals, and you're raising them into be weak. So they're either going to go to the either extreme. They're going to be extremely weak and effeminate, borderline GAY, or absolutely GAY. Women, they're crazy and psychotic. They'll have male friends that are straight. They'll have women friends that are straight and bisexual. They'll have GAY male best friends. They friends with everybody. And so they're more accepting of this stuff. And men, since there's no men in the household, because she breaks up the family and she's has autonomy over the control of the kid, what she wants to do with it. If you want the kid and you don't want her to terminate it, well, she can still terminate it. When you don't want the kid and you want her to terminate it, she can keep the kid and there's nothing you can really do about it. She can call the state, she can call these different things on you. And this is just what we have to deal with in the West, guys. We can leave and we can tread lightly, but if you are a male that's attractive and with money, you're going to fall into one of these traps. Women are very conning and manipulative. They're going to get you, but one or two of them going to get you. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting out of this society dealing with these women continuously without suffering something. And so I want you guys to, the only way to really truly avoid it is to leave or to go celibate. And, most guys, we're not wired to do that. We're wired to have a person to be with. So they have the government backing them. They have the government to take your children away, parental alienation, tell him and teach him that do what 50 Cent's 50 Cent's baby mom did to him with his son. Tell your son since he's a young kid that your father is not the best father. Make up this narrative that he's the villain. So they raise your children to hate you. And then they get these different opinions they get this double down and confirmation and repetition through these different television shows, thinking that the kid knows more than the father and the parents. Is actually ridiculous. And so we have those two things. Here's the next thing I have. In advance to all the different things I just named, they have a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs that you would have that would make you more of a provider if you had them, but you don't have them. And they hire women because women are less likely to ask for promotions. Women are less confrontational. They'll do what they need to do and not ask any questions. They'll sit there and take it. So this is why a lot of jobs have gone to women. And plus the educational system always pushes them, even though it pushes them into more debt. A lot of women have $100K in debt. But nonetheless, these degrees mean something to a degree. Even though she has no intentions of paying the debt back, these degrees that they get in college pushes them to get better jobs. A lot of these women, they make more money than you, which is why you can't get a woman, because how can you get a woman when she can provide just as much as you can provide? And she's taking jobs away from you, which is taking a job, she's getting more jobs, which is taking a job away from you, so you can't show that you're good at providing. Anyways, it's a really tough dynamic. So they have a lot of jobs as well. They can stick the government on you, parental alienate you from your kids, take your kids away, break up the family, and they can get paid from a salary job. So to a degree, some women don't actually need, a good percentage, not all of them, but a good percentage of women don't actually need your resources. They have their own resources, and some of them make more resources than the men. And so this is playing into the fact of why a lot of you guys can't get a woman, is because you're, the average man just isn't attractive. This is one of the reasons why, because she has all the jobs that the average man would have. Like in the 1950s, she couldn't work, or didn't work, and the average man could get a woman today. But since the average woman makes just as much as the average man, then, women date up. So that kills you out of an opportunity of mating. And this is where the politics comes into play, is because since we have more women on average, most of the population is women, and women have the access to vote. That means that when women vote, they already outvote you. And there's nothing that you can really do about that without looking like an actual misogynist. And so the only way they can truly get around that is they have to play this game of the electoral college. Because just off the numbers, guys, if 90% of women voted and 90% of men voted, hell, even if 100% of men voted and 90% of women voted, they'd still vote in, they still get what they want passed because they're the majority voting bloc. And because they have jobs, and which means they have money to spend, because they have power to vote politicians in and out, um, this is why we have this she economy that caters to women and panders to selling to women because they have the resources and women are willing to spend on whatever stuff. They can't afford it, but they'll find a guy to sponsor them if they can't afford it themselves. And if they can't afford it themselves, they'll spend it and they'll go into credit card debt, all kind of different stuff just to get these different cosmetic and different things. So women spend money where they believe. So they have the money to spend. They're the majority voting bloc, and a lot of them have jobs. A lot of that stuff is going to change with AI. The patriarchy might actually come back to a certain extent because the trades will be back in place. The trades will come back in place because AI will replace all the paper pushing jobs that are just for average everyday people. And AI is already smart or just as smart as the average person. So the patriarchy might come back in that sense, but you have to understand that her mindset, she's been programmed. Most women in the West have been programmed to be feminist. So even if she is pretending to be feminine or being a house traditional wife, as soon as she has the opportunity or as soon as things turn back around and the economy shifts or whatever, they're going to go right back into doing the feminism stuff. And so, again, like I said earlier, they have public opinion, which goes into the government, which means what? There's no accountability. They can do no wrong. So there's no accountability for them fixing their mistakes and fixing their actions. And so you're truly living in a matriarchy, and everything I just said just proved it. And we're at the point of no return. You can't change the mindset. Once people already see freedom, you can't put them back into bondage. You know what I'm saying? Like once women realize that they can have intercourse with whoever they want to have intercourse with and make good money doing it, they're not going back to being in the house all day and making clothes and cooking and baking and all this stuff. They're not doing that. This is all they know. And by the way, a lot of them women can't even do any of that stuff today. Just side note, because, we're in true feminism. They don't even know how to be nurturers anymore unless they're getting paid to do it by being a nurse or, a cook or something. So this is the state of the modern woman in the Western society. She's quite deceptive. She's quite, she's very feminist, which means she doesn't respect the authority or leadership of a man. She'll say she has, or she say she will, but she doesn't believe that shit. So this is what we have going on, guys, and there's no turning back. They're too far gone, unfortunately. So, yeah, you guys now know that you live in a complete matriarchy, and the odds of you having a successful relationship, a successful procreation event without the laws being involved are very low or shrinking. I wouldn't say very low, but they're shrinking. I look into these different relationships because it's crazy, because once you get, I hate to say this, I don't wish people bad or anything like that, but excuse me. And I think Mike David, I don't know how old you are, Cadence, but I think Mike David, I think you're older than me, 30s and 40s, if I'm not mistaken. I'm at the age now where, 27, about to turn 28 in 2026. This is the stage where you see a lot of people get married or have kids or whatnot. And, 5, 10 years from now, I'm sure Mike Davey can attest to this, and maybe even you, Cadence, if you're older than me, that once you hit 35, 40, these relationships dissolve. And you're like, damn, I thought you guys would last forever. And so I'm about to run through that right now. I'm about to see exactly what's going to happen. And like I said, I don't wish anybody harm. I don't wish people's relationships to fail. But the statistics are pointing at the failure to happen. And it's really sad because, the casualty of all these different bad families being broken up, the kids truly take the brunt and the hit of all of this. And, our young people are the future. And if we don't have good young people that are brought up in a family unit, or at least in a unified front in polygamy, they're not going to turn out very well. So that's the harsh reality. But women don't care about that. They will double down in their feminism, and they will make you a beta male in the relationship and embarrass you like a Kosh. Scene. that woman will call you and say she want to smash different dudes like Pierce Morgan's wife, allegedly. Quite ridiculous what these women will do to you in these relationships, because they know they have all the leverage, the power. They've secured their investment. They cannot lose from this point on. So, wow, crazy story, guys. Crazy. It's an evil world we live in, guys. It's an evil world. So you guys send your last little questions and comments as we wind down. Again, like I said, I will be going live in the morning too as well. You guys stay tuned for that. You guys, I appreciate you guys coming here. Double tap the screen, hit the like button. Hit the like button if you're watching the replay. If you guys want to support all the ways you can are in the description. Hit the super chat if you whatever is worth to you for Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody out there watching this currently. Hopefully you guys got some good gifts, be around some good family members. Hopefully you guys get a good rest from work. So yeah, guys, we're gonna wind down and get up out of here, man. Again, I appreciate you guys for being in here. Shout out to my man Cadence. Shout out to my man Mike David for being in the building. Shout out to everybody else that was in the chat earlier. Again, Merry Christmas to everybody. I will see you guys in the morning time. And peace.